Alright, so, hey everybody and welcome back to Resident Evil 0, and I'm salty because I have messed this recording up multiple times and I've had to redo this episode a few times now, and I'm hoping that this time will go smoothly, but if not, well then I'm gonna be super sad. But yeah, in this episode, well, because there is no power in the treatment plant here, we're gonna be restoring that. So to do so, we're gonna make our way over to this console here and dam area power supply panel. Designate a point to receive power. Power can be supplied to any location up to 2 points away. Change points, we will, and the points that you want to interact with are right here. And the second one is going to be right here. And the final one is right here. And in doing so, as you'll soon see, power is now supplied and power is now surging throughout this facility, and you can now make your way down the elevator in this room, because if you tried to interact with the elevator before, I don't think it would actually do anything because, well, there was no power, so the elevator was pretty much useless. But now that it's restored, we can now make our way through here. And we do want to be careful because there actually are some zombies in this room, so let's go ahead and actually take out the shotgun and wait for him to get close. And we can go ahead and quickly land a couple of shots there. I believe this guy should be coming. Now I'll just fire off that shot and wait for this guy to get a little closer. And how'd I even miss that shot there? That's rough. I don't know how that shot didn't connect. Kind of looked like it was gonna hit him, but it didn't, I guess. But yeah, I mean, there was this bottle sitting right here that we can go ahead and combine it to make some more Molotovs, which are going to be very useful because there is actually a leech man just sitting outside this door, which I do want to look out for. So I'm going to make sure I have these equipped, and I'm going to try to slowly turn this corner because the music is going to like play really loudly in my ear and it's going to freak me out, I'm sure. So I'm just, okay, it's already, you know what, let me just run past this guy. Just hit him once. I'm going to turn the corner and just aim. Rebecca is not auto-aiming. It's really frustrating. And just so the final one, and what? Oh, what? No, it connected, apparently. It kind of looks like we missed there, but apparently we actually did do it, which is not too shabby, if I do say so. But in this room, I believe there are also a couple enemies. Just a few zombies. I think 2, right? Or 1? I can't really tell based on the audio here. I want to say it's just 1, alright. But here we actually have the map of this whole place, which is pretty cool. So we can see the areas we have yet to explore. But yeah, I think as you saw from the map there, B8, there's quite a lot of depth to this place. It's pretty big, but yeah, I mean, I find this area isn't too bad. As mentioned, I've recorded this a couple now, and I find it, I don't really mind it. I mean, this is kind of a tedious episode, as you'll see later throughout the episode. A lot of it is inventory management, which is never too fun, but I mean, it's not too bad. I'm not gonna lie with you. I feel like I don't know, it goes fast, and because I have done this a couple times now, my route should be efficient in the sense that I have done this a couple times now, so I think I do have the best route and the best, just like pretty much I do have a mental map, memorized on how I want to do this, and if I do it correctly, it shouldn't take too long, so I probably should stop complaining. It's just, I just don't like inventory management. I'm gonna be honest, man. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Billy!
Rebecca, where am I?
You're safe now. Are you okay? could have done this?
They must have been used as test subjects in Marcus's research. He must have kept messing around with the mother virus.
Billy?
Alright, so it seems like poor Billy here is suffering, you know, from some PTSD of sorts. But yeah, now that he's back... Oh my god! That actually scared the shit out of me. Holy... Oh my god. No, nah. What? How? I was in the middle of explaining and then that thing just jumped out. That's... I'm in shock, if I gotta be honest with you. I was not expecting that, but... Yeah, now that Billy is back, we can start... We now have both characters, so we can easily start managing our inventories again, but... Oh my god, man. Stinking frogs. Giving me, like, heart attacks, but... Yeah, there's some shock ammo here, which I think I can go ahead and take out the shotgun and reload it. Shotgun ammo is always nice. Although, there's something that isn't nice, is this room.
Yeah.
And even worse than inventory management, I want to say, is block pushing. And here we are at the block puzzle. I mean, I want to say... Every Resident Evil game has one of these, and this is Resident Evil Zero's, and I feel like it's actually worse than most Resident Evil games' block puzzles. I don't like this one at all, but thankfully, as much as I'm making it sound like it's just horrible and the worst, like, you know, thing ever, like stuff of nightmares, it's not too bad, actually. It's not too long, so... Basically, what we want to do is we want to have Rebecca up here and Billy down here. And now we're going to use the controls to manage the gate in the center here. And we're going to rotate it right. And believe it or not, we might actually already be like halfway done this. Because all we want to do is push this block here. Just keep pushing down. Past this drain and into... place. So unfortunately we can't just go here and, you know, push this, you know, metal block down, because we're trying to create a path here, and unfortunately that wood block is not made out of wood, so it'd be way too heavy and wouldn't float, because we will be filling this, you know, pool with water, and it's not going to float up. So we want to make sure that all three blocks that are kind of pushed up against this like southern wall here are all wooden. So let's just stand in the corner, because you kind of have to be out of the way of the tank, or out of the way of, not the tank, sorry, but the gate in the middle. Otherwise the game won't let you turn it. And now all we want to do is just push this. Actually, it's because I haven't fully pushed this one in. Is that what it's trying to say? What the heck? Then why did it get... I don't understand why I got caught then, if it's not... If that was fully pushed in. I don't know. It's messed, but... I just want to quickly rotate this right now, I think. Or not. I feel like, to be fair though, I'm not gonna lie, I usually get confused with my rights and lefts. Not like what, just because they, just in this puzzle, I mean, I do know the difference between my lefts and rights in my, you know, in the actual world now, but I just realized that I might have actually just completely stinking messed this up, which is not
Let's regroup.
at all good news. So what I'm gonna have to do is I don't really know what Rebecca's doing, but what I'm gonna do is just, I don't really want to make you guys sit through all that again, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and solve this block puzzle here, and just meet you guys back when I finish it and I'm at that spot again. So sorry for that. See you guys soon, I guess. Bye. Alright, and I'm back. I mean, I don't really know how I even managed to mess up such a simple block puzzle. I mean, it's not super simple, but I mean, it's not really that convoluted either, so I don't really know how I, you know, failed this. But now that we have gotten the metal block all the way up to the top there, all we want to do is just rotate this left, and yeah, we pretty much did it. All we have to do is just swap back to Billy. For some reason the game kind of was delayed there, but swap back to Billy, go over here, push this down, and there we go. So yeah, not too bad. But I mean, I still somehow, even with it not being tough, I still messed it up. But now that's all that's left to do is, well, if Rebecca would move, let's just go up here, just spam through this dialogue because I don't really care, and we can go ahead and just fill up this tank with water. And now that all of these crates are up here floating, we can go ahead and cross this bridge that we made and go ahead and pick up the handle. I was kind of expecting there to be more. I was expecting it to have like a word before just handle, but nope, just handle. Nothing more to it than that, but yeah. So there are some herbs just outside this door that I do obviously want to pick up, but I want to make sure that I have 2 slots in my inventory here because I want Rebecca to pick it up because she is the one with the mixing set, obviously. I mean, I guess it adds variety of the characters, which, you know, I'm always a fan of, but I don't really like that you can't, like, spacing out here, but I don't like that you can't, why can't I speak? Jeez, it's, like, so bad, but that you can't combine herbs with Billy. There we go, my gosh, but yeah, I mean, I know it does add, like, makes Rebecca... Although, I guess that's why Billy's always the one that's separated from you, right? Instead of Rebecca, because if Rebecca got separated, then you wouldn't have the ability to combine herbs, which would be a pretty useful tool taken away from you, which I don't think they would want to do. I believe there are a couple zombies, and oh my god.
Ow!
I hate the frickin' recoil in the shotgun. It's so long. Like, it takes so stinking long to actually... be able to actually fire shotgun again once it's fired. I find there's just like such a massive delay on it, but it's whatever, I guess. But as you can see, Billy's using his superhuman instinct strength to turn this valve here, but I don't really see that as being actually, no, I guess because you're like installing it. No, that could actually would be pretty tough. What am I saying? But anyway, before we make our way to this new area, I guess it would be a good idea that we bring some items along with us. We're gonna have to do probably one more return trip after this as well, but I want to make sure, yeah, I do have 2 slots open here so that I can also combine these herbs as well, as I did leave them here so that we could pick them up and combine them on a return trip, which we are doing now. But yeah, I mean, we don't have too much open slots. There's not really too much we're going to be able to pick up, but that's not really the issue to me. I don't really want too many I don't really want to pick up too many things. I just want to pick up mainly the Magnum and the handgun, because there will be a couple enemies that we're gonna have. There's gonna be like, the next room has like 5 zombies, so I want to make sure I have the Magnum so I can just take them all out really fast. But yeah, you want to make sure that both Billy and Rebecca are on that elevator, because if you just go into the elevator without both characters actually physically standing on it, then the one character that you're playing as will just go up without the other character, which happened a lot to me when I was originally recording this. So maybe it's almost a blessing that this gameplay file got tampered with. I mean, it's not that I tampered it, it's just that it didn't really have the mic was all messed up. It's hard to explain. I don't really want to go too much into it, but point is, yeah, not really fun stuff, but I guess I'll have Billy. I seriously, I was like standing in the middle of the freaking elevator, and somehow my character went through the door. I don't even know how that even happened, to be honest. I'm so confused, but let's just pick this up. Was that the... What? How did he pick that up when he was like that far away? The hitboxes are so weird. Okay, I might actually leave the Molotovs in here for later. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what? I'm just gonna leave the shotgun, actually. I'll bring the Molotovs. I'll bring the Magnum and the ammo, obviously, but we're gonna have to bring something else. I guess I'll just bring the ink ribbons. What? How did I pick up the ammo and not the gun? I was like standing right on top of the gun, yet I don't even know. Like I said, the hitboxes are so odd. Alright, so yeah, I'll come back for this all later, but now that we do have the Magnum, we should be safe to go in all epic and guns a-blazing into that room with a bunch of zombies, which I'm super excited to do. We're just gonna go in there, point in the Magnum, and just start firing off rounds. It should be pretty cool stuff, but yeah, and I definitely learned my lesson, because the first time I recorded this, I went into that room with a bunch of zombies, and I got absolutely destroyed. I mean, I was getting like... I was using first aid spray after first aid spray. It was scary stuff, but there's actually a herb in here. I do have to make a mental note of this herb, because we're obviously gonna have to come back for that later. But there's also some handgun ammo that I do want to pick up as Billy, but I definitely will have to, yeah, like I said, keep that handgun ammo memorized. And yes, okay, I thought for a second that Rebecca rather was gonna mess up that elevator, riding down the elevator there. I thought she was going to not actually get like moved slightly onto the elevator. I thought she was just far away from it to where it would go down without her, which would have been so frustrating. But luckily, no, the game had some mercy in it, and it actually allowed me to be pushed up slightly, ever so slightly, just enough so that Rebecca was able to get pushed up onto the elevator and go down with us. But yeah, I'm sorry if you heard that. I accidentally just hit my desk with my controller, but oh my gosh, I didn't see that guy coming. That was actually a total surprise to me, I'm not gonna lie. But basically, how I play is I kind of like sitting into my chair, right? My good old gaming chair, with the mic on the desk, and I kind of just lean into the mic, and but I have my controller under the... What? Billy got bit? Nah. I refuse to believe that. That's so annoying. But yeah, I just have my controller under my desk, so when I like trying to adjust myself in my chair, because the problem here is that because I don't want the mic to pick up a fan or just anything that's showing cold air, or have my door open, obviously, because I don't really want to have maybe any noise possibly be picked up. So what happens is that I just have, and I do see that file, by the way, I just don't want to interact with it. What I do want to interact with is this. Put some red chemical in the mixing set. I don't want to go too much into why we're putting the red chemical in there, but we are making something, and not a leech charm, obviously, but something cool we're gonna be working towards crafting. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to have any like form of cold air be put into my room. So what happens is it gets really hot, and so my, like, you know, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like gross to say, but I mean, like, I kind of start to like sweat a lot in my chair, right? So what happens is that I constantly don't want to just be sitting in it, so I obviously, right, like, that would be, no, that's gross. So what I want to do is adjust myself, right, in my chair. And so when I'm adjusting myself, I tend to butt my hands up, and I usually hit the desk. And I'm sorry if the mic can hear that, alright? I guess, oh, right, that's a little rude. So I don't mean to sound like rude, it's just that, I don't know, I'm just kind of wondering about this file. Investigators Report 2. We should have finished with this dump long ago. When this all started, did anyone expect that there would be guns blazing away like this? We weren't told a thing about those creatures attacking us at the briefing. I guess they were a surprise to the head honchos too. The things in the woods just started to attack people. That had to be planned. Someone deliberately scattered that virus, no doubt about it. But the guards, our fellow soldiers, they must still be around. Well, whatever. Don't have to worry about that anymore. What I've got to worry about is whether to use my last bullet on myself or on a friend. That's the only decision I have to make. I mean, that actually is a pretty tough decision, I'm not gonna lie, because you have to kind of consider whether to be selfish or whether to spare your, or whether to save a friend from, whether to be selfish or selfless, I guess, right? But I mean, does the friend even want to be shot, though? You also got to take that into consideration. I mean, if they do, well then, yikes, that's gonna be a tough call to make. But what if they don't even want to be shot? Then just use that on yourself, I'd say. But luckily, I mean, the Magnum is so great. It's such a fun weapon to use because I feel like you just constantly, you know, like, no matter what enemy you're actually facing, you're able to just take any enemy down in one shot, and that's always such a satisfying feeling. But here is the save room. As I'm sure, yeah, you can tell by the lovely music. Now, I'm gonna leave all these items in places where I can see them. Make sure that Billy picks up this handgun ammo here. Reload my handgun, of course. There's 2 first aid sprays, one made out of herbs and one just sitting right here, which is pretty sweet. There's actually also a file, which I'll maybe take a look at. I do want to make sure I drop off the grenade launcher, though. And this, oh, I can't leave. That's annoying. But I guess we'll take a look at this file. About battery fluid. Battery fluid. The fluid used in batteries is a diluted solution of mixed water and sulfuric acid. Both must be of a high purity. When fully charged, battery fluid should have a specific gravity of 1.280. I don't even know what that symbol is. I'm just a mathematic failure, I guess. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's like a plus and a minus, but they're like one symbol. I don't even know. I feel so dumb, actually. I'm so embarrassed, but 0.010 at 20 degrees Celsius. Battery acid purity. Take care of that dilute sulfuric acid solution is of a sufficient purity. See, I'm not sure why they make the battery look like such a convoluted and such like a difficult process to actually create, because all you do is just combine a couple things here and there, and then boom, you have your battery. So I don't know why they try to turn it into like this whole thing, but it's really not. It's really not that difficult to create at all, so I don't know why they're trying to make it seem like it is. But yeah, we are in the save room, but before I end things off, I do want to make my way back to the elevator and grab those last couple items. Just because, I mean, I don't know. I always just feel so weird doing this though, because when I play this game on my own, which isn't, I usually do Resident Evil runs, I like to call them, where I play through all the games. I mean, Resident Evil games aren't as long, so I usually do them every 6 months, because I'm not an adult, so I don't really have a job. I mean, I suppose I still have high school, right? But it's like, that's not really that much of an issue. I don't really get homework, so I don't really have to worry about that, so I don't really worry in the sense, so I mean, I can kind of just sit around all day. So I mean, that's why I do play through all these games every 6 months, because I feel like I'm definitely going to get some people that are like, that's pretty often, just because when I say that I play through all these games, I don't just mean like I play through the main line. I mean, like, I do those, right, obviously, but I also play through the spin-offs, like the Umbrella Chronicles, Darkside Chronicles, Dead End, like, just like everything, right? And so it does take me quite a bit of time, so I was just kind of explaining, because I definitely am gonna get some people who are like, that's pretty often, man, you know, you're playing those pretty frequently, and yeah, I do know I am, but it's just like these games aren't that long, though. You gotta take that into consideration. I feel like I only do Zelda runs, though, like, because that's another franchise I'm a huge fan of. If you didn't know, The Legend of Zelda, great series there, I'm not gonna lie. Amazing games, but I do go and do Zelda runs as well, but I want to say I only do those, like, every maybe every 2 years now, just because of, like, I don't know. Well, before I would constantly play them, I wouldn't really do runs. I would just constantly replay, like, my favorite Zelda games. But now I also kind of do runs as well. But I don't even really get the urge to play those every 2 years, because they're just, like, I don't know. I don't really want to get too much into it, because here we are playing Resident Evil, not Zelda. You know, I'm assuming most people who clicked on this video are here to discuss and hear about Resident Evil, not Zelda, so I don't really know why I'm going on a whole Zelda tangent, but whatever. But just when I play these games on my own, which I was saying, which are, yeah, pretty frequently, I guess every 6 months, is pretty often, I don't really move all my items from place to place, so it's just like, it just feels so weird doing this. It feels like I'm, like, playing the game differently. It's like, but I like it. I like it. It changes things up, because it kind of gives, like, a new identity to the game, in the sense that I feel like I'm, like, doing new things and playing the game just like the first time again. Because when I played this game for the first time, obviously I would move all my items and stuff, because I wasn't that good, so I definitely needed to make sure I had all my supplies with me, otherwise I would die, right? Because now I'm skilled enough to where I want to say I can just take on this entire, where I usually just take on the entire game with just the items I have in my inventory, and that can fit into the 12 slots. But now obviously it's different. Leave this as well, and I guess I'll bring this with me, but leave this. Yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of items right here, but like I mentioned in the last episode, I love how all these items on the floor look super sparkly and pretty stinking cool, if you ask me. But actually, I'm probably going to leave this here as well. I don't think we'll need it, right? But what we might actually need is, because I will go ahead and just kind of mention it. Again, I don't mention it for spoiler purposes. I just mention it for those who see, that's the problem. I'm never sure what to do, because for those who haven't played this game, right? Which I know is pretty few people. I'm sure most people who are watching this have played it, but I'm never sure if I should spoil stuff like this, that there's going to be a boss fight coming soon, or if I should leave it a secret. But the reason I mention it is because I want to make sure that for those people who haven't played know what's coming up. But at the same time, I feel like bad, because I'm like kind of like spoiling, because this next boss fight, the whole encounter is like set up to what's very like, I don't really know how to explain it without, because this kind of is a spoiler, right? So I don't really want to go into it, but it's kind of set up to be like a secret. Like, the characters are you know, very surprised when this enemy comes out, and I feel like it's a super cool and, you know, spare of the moment thing, but I just only mention it because I want to make sure that everyone's prepared and knows that there's a fight coming up. But there is. But now that we have moved every single item from the stinking elevator over there to where we are now in the save room, I think I can pretty much end things off. And, you know, next time we're going to be making our way through this door right here, the purification room. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, there... Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Never mind. You know, I feel so foolish. I was about to say that there isn't too much of this whole place, of this place left to unlock, but there is. We're only about halfway done, it would seem, but I mean, I don't know though, because I can assure you this. There really isn't that much left, but it seems like there's so much, but I don't think there is, so it's like weird. I don't know. I guess there really is a lot left, but I don't know. I guess, I mean, because I really like this area within the game, right? So I guess time just flies by when you're having fun, just like the map just fills up when you're having fun exploring. Am I right? But anyway, I am dragging this outro way too long. My apologies. So let's just end things off already, right? Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Resident Evil 0, and in the next one, we're going to be taking on that boss fight I spoke of and just making way and exploring more and more areas of the treatment plant here. So, I hope to see you all then. Bye.